Hi YouTube, today I'm going to be talking about Lilith in the third house. So the third house is traditionally ruled by Gemini, and that's ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. Therefore, this making the house of communication and your siblings, like your relationships with your siblings, you have to remember that like the first houses are more of your upbringing and things like that, like your early life. So the third house basically is just about communication with others and just how you communicate and your relationship with your siblings. Now, Lilith is the shadow side of people. It's feminine. I like to think of it as a feminine version of Pluto. But literally, this is just the void between the earth and the moon and that cosmic void. So that's basically what Black Moon Lilith is. So now when you have it in the third house, this is the planet, like, well, it's not even a planet, but like Lilith is kind of just like a shadow side to one's personality, and where it is on the chart says where that Black Moon Lilith plays out. So yeah, let's get started. So the third house, people with this placement, they're going to be able to lie and manipulate very well when they want to. These people are very good with communication, and they actually thrive for knowledge and communication, and they like to. A lot of times they can use their communication to get what they want from others. Um, Now, here, Lilith makes their words their biggest strength. These people, when they want to, have like really sharp tongues, and they can destroy anyone with their words. But here's the thing, they will not let anyone do that to them. You know what I mean? It's like they won't, when it comes to verbal arguments or disagreements, they can make very, very good like politicians, and they're really good with debating with people because they're really good at getting their point across and making the other person feel stupid. Or a lot of times this can indicate someone who's a bullier or a gossiper. It really just depends on what side of the spectrum they're on, because not everyone's the same and not everyone's going to use this placement for good or for bad. Everyone uses it differently and everybody embodies it a little bit differently. These are just like the two main sides. So we have like the gossiper, the one that loves to get information from other people. They're very good at that. That's why it's the third house is about communication, and they have a thirst for knowledge. So when they want to get something or information, they're really good at like prying other people to get it without them even realizing it when they want to. Because this is the way of communication and Lilith has a sexual side to her, this means that they are going to love poetry and literature that um, allow their sexual fantasies and imaginations to wander. These are the type of people that like to like sext, and they like to talk about sex, and they like to like sext as in like sex text messaging. I don't know if that sounded clear enough. But yeah, they just like all of that like taboo things, like a 50 Shades of Grey. This is like a thing that these type of people would like, you know. So anything with the words that are dark and mysterious, and they can kind of let their mind wander, is something that they would like. A lot of them do like to read, and they do like darker paintings and things like that, because you have to remember Gemini is really good at communicating and really good at talking about things and topics and all of that, but they're like, when it comes to their feelings and their words, they can't really put that in an emotional standpoint. They can put that in a very logical thing that it like makes sense, and it's like they've thought it through, they've overanalyzed it, they're indecisive, so they don't really know what they feel. So here, this is where Lilith comes into play. When that can't happen, these people look for literature to express how they're feeling, poetry. They can be really good artists, but a lot of the times, typically what you'll see with them is something darker when it comes to the words, like the structure of words that they're reading or what they're writing, or a little bit mysterious. And their paintings, if they are artists, don't make sense. And the art that they find intriguing is usually really unique compared to what others find intriguing. The people that they're attracted to, they usually like people that express something like that, are a little bit more of the dark, mysterious thing, but they like people that are more towards like a Gemini darker side. I don't know if that makes sense. If there was a Gemini that's really talkative and outgoing but had a really like mysterious look to them, that's something that these people would like. But there is also this really weird part about their sexuality that this is not everybody, and I don't want to subject everyone to this. This is just like a little like side note. Some of these people could be like attracted to their siblings or just their family members, just because Lilith is also sexuality, and then the third house is siblings and all of that. But aside from that, their relationship with their siblings could be a little bit different. Like, these people could have a completely different relationship with their siblings than they do with anybody else. Their siblings sees them completely differently than everybody else, and at times they wear a mask or like a disguise, not like literally, but they can kind of feather their personality and like take or add or change it up when it comes to acting towards their siblings. It's just a little bit different than what other people see, and they can be very manipulative towards their siblings and a little bit of a bully, to get what they want, to make them feel like they want, because these people know that their words are their strongest attribute about them. And yeah, another thing about this is that Gemini is it's a mutable sign. It's very dynamic. A lot of Geminis, you can see that they go through phases of what they like and what they don't. So when it comes to these people, that's what I was talking about, like the mask or the disguise. They're able to transform themselves and make it seem like they're one way when they're not, or they're able to they're able to make it seem like they're one way when they're not, and they can do this with different personalities. A lot of times this means that the person either has like bipolar disorder, but like I don't think it's bipolar disorder. Like, you ever like read psychology and you're just like, no, this person just has like a moon in the 8th house, this person has that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's bipolar disorder. I just think, okay, that's a completely different topic, and don't correct me on that or anything. Just forget I said that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that anybody with this placement has any disorder or any mental things going on with them. I just think that because Lilith is here, they are able to verbally abuse people if they want, but also make people feel really good. They're able to manipulate. They can come off as pathological liars, in a sense. They can be pathological liars, but then again, like, I always tie that back to, like, it's not any other reason, like, psychologically speaking. I just tie back, like, a pathological liar is because Lilith in the 3rd house, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, so, yeah. Their early upbringing in the classroom might have been a little bit challenging, just because they can be a little abrasive verbally towards other students. They can pick on other students, but you have to think, this house ruled by Gemini, Gemini is constantly thinking, constantly working, very dynamic. Lilith here is kind of like you're indulging, what you love to indulge in. So when Lilith is in the 3rd house, you like to indulge in knowledge, whatever topic it may be. It may not even be school topics. It could be a cult topic. It could be anything that you're interested in. But when it comes to grasping information, these people are really, really quick at it. So they can be really, really intelligent and make other people feel stupid, or they could just be the type of people that, like, you know, those oversmart people? Like, there's the intelligent ones that are just, like, really quiet about it, but then there's the oversmart ones that are like, no, you're fucking stupid, like, I'm right, and then they prove it right, but they're actually smart. They're just really boastful about it, and they degrade other people for not being as intelligent and not getting information as quickly as they do. That can be something or a problem with the Lilith in 3rd house person. They can absorb knowledge really quickly and just have troubles keeping concentration in a classroom. They can be abrasive towards other kids with their words. They can be sometimes physically aggressive with kids, just depending on what it is. And like I said, they have like sharp tongues, so they may backtalk to teachers, they may backtalk to authority and things like that. So yeah, they don't like to be put in their place either, you know what I mean, or criticized, because trust me, like, if you say anything that doesn't fly, or if you criticize them, they have already picked out like all of your flaws, all of like your weak points. They can kind of psychoanalyze you in a sense by your actions, by your words, how you do, and then they kind of can use that against you. So it's like you just have to be really careful what they say to them. Yeah, so you could also lie a lot to like your parents growing up, to get what you want. You can be very sneaky. It's like Gemini is a very charming sign. It's natural. These people are very charming with their words. So when Lilith is here, it makes this person really, really charming, and they can seduce people with their words. And a lot of times it's not necessarily actions or looks. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's just like what they say, and they know how to manipulate and how to get what they want and all of that, just by using their words. And I know this video might have sounded repetitive and a little bit what am I saying? All over the place. Yes, that's a word. And just a little bit darker and a little bit more negative. But the truth is that Lilith is the shadow side, so it's not going to be positive. A lot of it's going to be negative. So the one thing, my last advice before I go, it's just like think before you speak, because a lot of times you don't, and that's okay. I don't. It's fine to admit it, but just think before you speak, and make sure not to play power games with people or have power struggles with people. Sometimes it's okay to just accept it and move on, even though that's hard. So that's just like my advice. And please don't hurt anybody with your words that you love or care about, because a lot of times you guys have experienced that and maybe have felt guilty but don't admit it because you're really prideful. So yeah, it just depends on all your placements. Look at all of that to make sure. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.